exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com, booking.yeah.
Limu Limo at your service. Here to help you save hundreds by customizing your car insurance with Liberty Mutual.
Hey guys, I'm cooking lunch right now and just watching.
Hi, we're considering hiring Paula Murphy as a nanny, and I was curious about your experience with her.
She's amazing. Really became a part of our family.
Moreover, the weight was unevenly distributed, requiring reinforcement of the left frame rail, the left front spring, and installation of a special subframe. To simplify steering in the unbalanced vehicle, the power steering pump was adjusted for higher pressure. For maximum driver protection and capsule sealing, mechanical control systems were replaced with hydro-pneumatic and pneumatic electric ones. For example, the clutch was operated hydro-pneumatically, and the middle axle was fitted with air-actuated brake chambers. To avoid complications with the transfer case controls, it wasn't connected at all. Low gear was permanently engaged and could only be disengaged using an electro-pneumatic actuator. The ventilation and filtration system was powered by the engine's generator, or by 4 batteries, increased from standard, in case the engine stalled. To prevent accidental engine shutdown and avoid situations where it couldn't be restarted due to dead batteries, the manual fuel shutoff lever was relocated outside the capsule. This meant the engine could be stopped by opening the capsule. To simplify production, the vehicle was not equipped with a cabin heater. It was assumed that the Chernobyl cleanup would be completed before the onset of cold weather. The first prototype of the specialized dump truck rolled out of the experimental workshop on July 10th and was test-driven near Kremenchuk the following day. The vehicle drove out of the factory on it. We just couldn't get used to the fact that the cabin inside was small and there was only one window, in the front. Side visibility was only through mirrors. Each vehicle was equipped with 4 mirrors. Rear view, 2 for side view, all of them hemispherical. The loud noise was unusual. It was the sound of air being pumped into the capsule by the ventilation system. We drove along the highway through the village of Peshino, near Kremenchuk, and in the center of the village, turning off the road, we exited to its western outskirts, where the Chernobyl vehicle was driven out onto a bumpy meadow overgrown with grass. Our doubts about the vehicle's off-road capability, although it was unloaded but with a heavy front end, disappeared. The vehicle moved confidently through the field, in low areas of which water sparkled through the grass. We drove with the capsule door closed, moved both forward and backward, imitated approaching an excavator, which in this case was represented by a lone willow tree. After 1 or 2 tries, we quickly got the hang of it. Driving the vehicle was not a problem, even when maneuvering in reverse. We relied only on the mirrors for orientation. During the following week, the plant workers completed assembly of the first batch of 7 special dump trucks. They were immediately shipped to the Chernobyl nuclear power plant by rail. The last Kraz trucks from this special industrial batch were delivered on July 27th, almost exactly a month after the assignment was received. In total, 18 liquidator dump trucks were produced. The truck chassis were assembled on the main conveyor, while the installation of the driver's capsule and other modifications were carried out in the factory's experimental workshop. The plant workers who fulfilled this important order worked with true dedication.
What is your guys'
in
problem?
2
You go outside.
or 3 shifts. No one complained because everyone understood how critical this task was, and that the lives of those involved in the disaster response depended on how quickly the vehicles were completed. After all, the liquidation work never stopped, and before the arrival of the special Kraz trucks, people had to protect themselves from radiation, improvised means, and makeshift methods. The exact fate of these trucks remains unknown, but it is highly likely that after completing their mission, they were buried in a special landfill for contaminated equipment in the village of Burakovka, not far from the Chernobyl plant. There is also no video footage showing these vehicles in action, only a few rare photographs. And that's that's not surprising since people working near the destroyed reactor at that time clearly had more pressing matters than capturing content. Of course, in addition to the special CRAS, other vehicles also took part in the Chernobyl disaster cleanup. Equipment that operated in areas with high radiation levels had cabins protected with lead shielding, while vehicles used in less contaminated zones often had no radiation protection at all. However, all vehicles used in the exclusion zone were officially designated as non-exit. They were strictly forbidden from leaving the cleanup area. Standard license plates were replaced with so-called non-exit plates, like on this police car, for example. The highest-ranking non-exit vehicle turned out to be a government limousine, the GAZ-14 Chaika. Eventually, it was transported to a special disposal site for contaminated equipment and buried along with the rest. And as for our hero today, the CRAS with its sealed lead-lined capsule, this was truly a one-of-a-kind machine. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't fast, but it accomplished a task no other vehicle could. It helped save the lives of those who worked in the very heart of the Chernobyl disaster. These trucks weren't built for parades or museum displays. They are a symbol of real sacrifice.
I need to look up some real
The
quick,
kind of
guys.
heroism that rarely makes it into newsreels.
Influencers aren't new. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
In 1941, the Jeeps wrote the book on the four-wheel drive.
North Korea is one of the most closed and mysterious countries in the
Oh,
world.
great. They're shooting at Dallas
Its
ICE
economy and
office.
technologies develop in isolation, leading to the emergence of unique yet little-known industrial examples. The automotive industry of North Korea is a rare glimpse into how the country adapts global trends to its own circumstances. Today, we will take a closer look at this closed industry. Despite numerous challenges, cars are produced in North Korea, and the country even has its own automotive industry, albeit with limited production volumes. Before we begin, a quick announcement. I use AI voiceover because my English is still not very strong. However, everything else, ideas, editing, and material selection, I do myself. So please support the channel with a subscription and a like, and let's dive into the main topic of the video. The country's leadership made a rational decision. To build a nation, you need trucks. This is how the Sungri 58 appeared in North Korea, an exact copy of the gas.
I might change this to something else because there's a shooting now. We're gonna go now to CNN. We're now gonna go to local TV to see what's going on here because if there's a shooting at the ICE office, that's gonna seem surprising. We're gonna do a double dip. We're gonna do double dip.
Again, this is all speculation. We don't know a motive yet, but that's a critical piece of evidence that they have right now. I think they're not releasing, they're not releasing the name of the deceased, probably have not yet notified next of kin. And as far as the shows, if they
I live where in New York. I'm so jelly. That's where I came from.
the social media site.
Anna Metallica, Genius by Birth, Sander M, Crazy Yoda, Crypto King. Thank you. And also Larry Pickle Jar, Who Shot JR, Gonzalez.
Was targeted apparently, and again, my heart goes out to the victims.
Yeah, no, our heart is definitely out to the victims. So in this case, you had the rounds, one of them said anti-ICE. In the Charlie Kirk shooting, there was anti-fascism and memes on the rounds, and you had the United Healthcare one. You know, what should investigators at this point be doing to further pinpoint a motive? You've already heard them say this was an act of targeted violence.
Well, they got a direction. Just look at the showcasing, their writings on the showcasings. But again, they're going to need a little bit more to put together a motive. And that's why they're in the process now. Once they've identified this individual, you start to execute search warrants. You go to social media and you look at if he drove in a car, did he leave something behind in a car, some writings that may explain the reason why they did what they did. All these things need to be put together. It's still early in investigation. This is something that both the Dallas PD and the FBI are working. ATF, of course, will be tracing that firearm. So there are a lot of things that are going on right now. And again, you know, the police can't operate on speculation. They need facts. And when they get before the press and they start providing information, it needs to be information that's been verified, not speculation as to what might have happened and why and that sort of thing. So they're doing the right thing. They're waiting until they have real information to provide.
Right, but right now the FBI director is saying that the rounds we showed, it shows an ideological motive behind this attack. Of course, this investigation continues in these early hours. Thank you so much to everyone for coming on, sharing your reporting and analysis, and we'll be right back.
Tony Shalhoub, Breaking Bread, premieres October 5th on CNN.
Hey, I got her a little something.
A little something, Dad?
Oh, hi. Walt rolled his 401k. Hi. Walt rolled his.
Don't worry about that right now. Oh man, I almost got that. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I'm just gonna relax, watch some TV like I'm supposed to. Got doors open for the cats to go out in. We're gonna have a lovely lunch, relax. News won't start for another 15, so I'm not gonna worry about the news.
This is a Storm Team weather report. This is a Storm Team weather report.
This is meteorologist Ken Schultz. Again, we're tracking some severe weather into the Louisville metropolitan area that
I wish I had a TV station. A TV station would be nice, but you know, can't always have what you want. I mean, I should be grateful I have a YouTube channel.
Tides Boosted for makeup stains. It's cleaner, whiter, brighter, and fresher.
Oh, hey, man. Need some tickets?
Hey, you got two?
Yeah, I just need your credit card.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to wait 15 years just to buy a car, or to drive a vehicle that was essentially unchanged for decades? Well, welcome to the fascinating world of Soviet automotive engineering, where politics, practicality, and pure determination collided to create some of the most unique vehicles ever made.
Oh, may have a van.
These weren't just cars, they were symbols of an entire ideology, rolling testaments to a system that prioritized collective needs over individual desires. Today we're counting down the top 10 communist cars from the Soviet era, and trust me, some of these will absolutely...
Some of them still made today.
From luxury limousines reserved for party elites to tiny city cars that became cultural icons, we're about to take a wild ride through automotive history. So buckle up, hit that like button if you're ready for this journey, and let's dive into a world where
Oh, that's
car
cute.
ownership was a privilege, not a right. Number 10, Moskvich 412. The Moskvich 412 might not look like much today, but in 1967, this boxy sedan represented the height of Soviet middle-class aspiration. Think of it as the USSR's answer to the Ford Cortina, except with a waiting list that could stretch for years. The 412 was actually a clever piece of engineering for its time. It borrowed heavily from the Opel Kadett design, which the Soviets acquired as war reparations, but they made it distinctly their own. The car featured a 1.5-liter engine that produced about 75 horsepower. Not exactly thrilling, but remember, this was never about speed. It was about reliability in extreme conditions. What made the 412 special was its surprising durability. These cars were built like tanks, with thick steel bodies that could withstand the brutal Russian winters and the equally brutal Russian roads. Owners would often drive them for 20 or 30 years, passing them down through generations like family heirlooms. The interior was Spartan by Western standards. No air conditioning, no power windows, no fancy electronics, just a heater that worked overtime, a radio if you were lucky, and seats that felt like they were stuffed with concrete. But here's the thing, it all worked. And it kept working. The 412 became a symbol of Soviet achievement for ordinary citizens. Owning one meant you'd made it to a certain level in society. You weren't party elite, but you weren't struggling either. It was the car of engineers, teachers, and mid-level bureaucrats. The production numbers tell an interesting story too. Between 1967 and 1976, they built nearly 500,000 of these. That might not sound like much compared to Western production, but in the Soviet system, where private car ownership was restricted, it was massive. Many of these cars survived well into the 90s and beyond. You can still spot them on Russian roads today, usually belching smoke, but somehow still running. That's Soviet engineering for you. Not pretty, not fast, but absolutely indestructible. Number 9, UAZ 452.
They still make those.
If the Moskvich was the Soviet suburban dream, the UAZ 452 was its rugged country cousin. This military-derived off-roader first rolled off the production line in 1965, and it looked like someone had drawn a Jeep from memory using only a ruler. But appearances can be deceiving. This boxy beast could go absolutely anywhere. The 452 started life as a military vehicle, and it showed. Everything about it screamed function over form. The body panels were flat for easy repair. The engine was simple enough that a farmer could fix it with basic tools. The suspension was designed to handle everything from Siberian permafrost to Central Asian deserts. What's remarkable is how little it changed over its production run. The basic design remained virtually identical for over 50 years. Why mess with perfection? Well, perfection might be a strong word. The 452 was notorious for being uncomfortable, loud, and thirsty. Driving one was like a metal drum during a hailstorm, but comfort wasn't the point. This was a vehicle designed to get Soviet citizens to places where roads were just a suggestion. Collective farms loved them, geologists swore by them, even the medical service used them as ambulances in remote areas. The 452
Even Postal uses them.
following that extends far beyond the former Soviet Union. Adventure tourists seek them out specifically because they're virtually indestructible. There's a saying among UAZ enthusiasts, you can't break it, but if you do, you can fix it with a hammer. The engine options were limited but adequate. Most came with a 2.4-liter four-cylinder that produced about 75 horsepower. Not much, but when you've got low-range gearing and locking differentials, you don't need much. These things could climb walls if you pointed them in the right direction. Even today, UAZ still produces an updated the 452. It's got a few more creature comforts now, like actual seats instead of medieval torture devices, but the basic formula remains unchanged. It's still boxy, still tough, and still capable of going places that would make a Land Rover cry. In many ways, the UAZ 452 represents everything about Soviet automotive philosophy. Build it simple, build it strong, and make it last forever. Style, comfort, those are capitalist concerns, comrade. Number 8, VAZ 2101 Lada. The Lada.
Oh, the good old Lada. Those things are made like those. Lada are built like tanks. That's until Robert found out they're not.
Send it over to Brittany. It says that you gotta pass it on to us. The question going forward, Pam, I will say, is whether Trump's new stance on Ukraine holds. Ukrainians have seen a lot of switches and 180s from this president, so they'll be watching to see if this backing continues.
All right, Jim Sciutto, thank you so much from the UN there. I knew this morning agencies with the UK and European Union are slamming President Trump's comments, blaming Tylenol use among pregnant women for autism. That is despite decades of evidence saying that the drug is safe. The president advised no Tylenol during pregnancy, telling women to tough it out. But what does the
In a city-side guest room at
a lot of questions about this, so let's page CNN chief medical correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta for some answers, because there's a lot of questions, Sanjay. I just had a group of women on it.
Okay, you're told the. I should.
The 24-inch desktop features 16 gigs of
It's an Apple.
It includes a keyboard and mouse, and this 11-inch iPad features 128 gigs of storage. Plus, this iPhone 15 features 100.
I saw the iPhone.
And a dual camera system.
I want the iPhone.
And finally, it's the juiciest prize of them all. A brand new car!
IKEA. Kia It's quite.
It's the Kia Soul LX, featuring a 2-liter engine, continuously variable transmission, and front-wheel drive.
Okay. I was in a car.
Trip to Washington State,
If I had a van,
a sweet
if I had like a panel van of some sort, that'd be nice.
brand new
Why? And I'd build it into a.
price is right.
If I had like an 18 van,
Wow. What did everybody say?
then I would actually build it like an office. Like a small office on wheels.
28,500? All right. 28,500, 25,340. We'll be right back to find out who wins. Don't go away, folks.
At Wayfair, style to every get together. Oh, you brought wings.
You mean these wingback chairs? Dive in, everyone. We brought plenty.
We brought the sides.
Everybody remember to leave room.
Yeah, bring that over here.
We brought the ranch. Ooh, that looks like it's fresh from the farmhouse.
Wings and ranch? Now it's a party.
Every style, every home.
Very dry, tight, sensitive skin? Relieve it in 60 seconds with Aveeno Skin Relief. With soothing triple oat complex. Clinically proven to restore skin's moisture barrier for 72-hour hydration. Aveeno. Years of hard work. Decades of dedication. Committed to giving back. You've been there, done that, and you're still here for more. So now that you're
I need to make some money one of these days.
For pneumococcal pneumonia and IPD, be proactive with Capvaxive, a vaccine specifically designed for adults to help protect against pneumonia and invasive disease caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive is the only vaccine that helps protect against the strains that cause 84% of IPD in adults 50 or older, compared with up to 52% by other pneumococcal conjugate vaccines. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Whether you've had another pneumococcal vaccine or not, ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive.
You've got better things to do than clean out clogged gutters. Call Leaf Filter today and never clean out clogged gutters again.
Leaf Filter's technology keeps debris out of your gutters for good. Guaranteed. Call 833 Leaf Filter today or visit leaffilter.com. The fact that this Reese's ad showed up at this exact moment proves that your devices are listening to your stomach.
Okay, man.
Oh, we need to vaporize that sore throat. Vapor Cool Drops. Sore throat relief with a rush of fixed vapors.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks Vapor Cool Drops.
Pizza.
Want to try? Carmex.
Welcome back, everybody. Get up. We're going to start with you. Yeah. You did $28,500. Actual price is $30,934. It's a $2,433. Pretty close. You did $25,340.
Eat this.
Actual price $25,952.
Oh wow! Almost a double. Almost a double. Almost a daily double. Wow, she was left by $6.
Off by only $612. She went $34,860.
She almost got doubled.
Nice job.
She almost got a double.
Always a blessing when you get to spend an hour with you. Really appreciate it. Please get your pet spayed or neutered up until the pet population. And take care of your mental health. Whatever you do. It's this basic thing for all your health, your mental health. And be kind to others, all right? I love you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
She won. She's just. You have to go to the dentist and you get those nails.
This is George Gray speaking more of Price is Right, a Fremantle production.
Survivor tonight at 8.
new seasons begin CBS Premier Week. Fire Country returns Friday, October 17th, part of CBS Premier Week.
This opportunity is insane.
We know you're busy and want to keep up with your community. Well, now you can.
Just scan this QR code to get instant access to our news, weather, and sports on your favorite platform.
It's that easy. Trust News Channel 3 to protect and alert you wherever you are.
We can never make a pizza like this.
That's because this isn't pizza. It's Jets. Get $5 off our signature 8-corner Detroit style. Jets. Better because it has to be.
I don't understand why it was so hard to tell me what had happened during the birth of my child. No one would listen to me, and that's why I called the Baby Help Center.
Find out what really happened. Call the Baby Help Center at 1-800-CALL-SAM.
Hi, Frank Mumford here. Now is the best time to say yes, sir, and complete your home improvement project. Last chance for 2025. Our prices are falling during our autumn sales event.
Say yes, sir, and get your new windows at no cost with SIR's Rev-On Project Possible ESS Payback Program. Transform your home with the windows of your dreams and get back up to 100% of your project's cost. Call now to learn more.
Say yes, sir, to the Sir Home Improvement Team. You'll be glad you did.
Watch News Channel 3 anywhere. Download the News Channel 3 app now.
People are shot at a Dallas immigration facility. The shooter is dead. What we're learning from ICE's acting director.
And Jimmy Kimmel is back on TV after almost a week, and we know how President Trump feels about that.
Michigan lawmakers have less than a week to go to pass the budget or face a potential state government shutdown. What's preventing a deal? News Channel 3 Live at noon starts right now.
Covering West Michigan to protect and alert you. This is News Channel 3, live at noon.
Thank you for joining us on News Channel 3 Live at noon. I'm Julie Williams.
And I'm Kirk Mason. Developing now. Federal immigration authorities say one person is dead, 2 others have been hospitalized after a shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas, Texas. The acting ICE director confirms the shooter is dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Homeland Security spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin says no ICE agents were injured, but detainees are among the victims. McLaughlin says it's believed the shooter was shooting at law enforcement and detainees from an apartment building. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons says while the situation is fluid, ICE has been facing an uptick in violent threats.
You know, I've never seen anything like this in my law enforcement career. I've never seen threats on law enforcement, specifically ICE, increase the way it is. You know, we're up over 1,000% assaults on officers right now. And really just a lot of the talk that's out there, a lot of the rhetoric is just the violence directed towards law enforcement officers just trying to do their job.
The Department of Homeland Security says its facility recently received a bomb threat. Authorities plan to hold a news conference later today when we expect to learn more details.
And we're also learning about a stabbing in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Police say 3 students were hurt, and one of them is the suspect. The school says they used a small knife, and this is what one mom says that she felt when she heard about all of this.
You're just sick to your stomach, truly just sick.
I can't watch this.
You're just sick to your stomach, truly just sick.
Hello. I'm not watching 3. I'm turning off. I just turned it off because it's ridiculous. I'm gonna watch something else. I'm gonna watch YouTube. It's safer. So yeah, crap in Dallas, crap in Pittsburgh. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Are you guys here for the halftime show?
Oh, no. We're here to help people customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
So that's why Emu is here?
Yes. And the emu has a name. Only pay for what you need.
To learn how to be in a T-Mobile iPhone commercial, Jeff Bridges moved in with Zoe Saldana. But mostly, they just played with the new iPhone 17 Pro. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17
I don't know who that Zoe person. I don't even know who that even is.
Plus, save up to 20%. Check the app.
Hello, and welcome to Nanacar November. On the docket today.
Yeah, I heard about that. But shooting at ICE.
With the 2-stroke engine that I put on it.
The
bought from eBay. Few squirts of gas, and then go down my hilly driveway and open the basket. Oh,
Ever heard about that?
Nope, not quite. Nope. Okay. I gotta start over. Good start. Fired a couple times. That was not enough. Let's walk all the way back up the hill now. This is a bicycle. Is that all I wrote? Oh, no. This is a bicycle that I bought several years ago from Walmart for a whole $75, I think. And the whole time I've owned it, it's been an experiment bed for different modes of bicycular power. Bet you never heard that word before, because I made it up. The first mode of power I experimented with was one of those hub motor, electric motor bicycle conversion kit things you can buy off eBay. I did this when I was still in high school, and I think it was right after I bought the bike. Wasn't anything fancy to it. It was just a hub motor front wheel replacement, some crappy controller, and some lead acid batteries. Now, the only thing I had to do to the bicycle to make that fit was to grind away a little bit at these front forks here to make clearance for that massive hub motor. And now, obviously, it's not on the bike anymore, but I don't actually remember why I took it off the bicycle. Probably had something to do with the lead acid batteries being crappy, because they are. But I don't actually remember why I removed it from the bicycle. If I remember correctly, I actually went through 2 of those electric bike kits, and they were broadly the same. So I don't remember why I went through 2 of them or why I removed either one of them, but that happened to this bicycle. There we go. Running. Stay running. Stay running. Stay running. Stay running. Let's go. So weak, this thing. That's full throttle. Barely running. Then after my not-so-brief bout with electrification of this bicycle, probably in the name of fun, to go a completely different route, and I powered this bicycle with a tiller, or a cultivator, whatever you want to call it. The garden implement that tears up the dirt with the tines. Specifically, the tiller I used was a Mantis brand tiller. It had a whole 21.5cc 2-stroke air-cooled engine that sounded like a very large straight angry walk, and that drove a gearbox, which then drove the tines that dug up dirt. Well, I took the tines off and the handle for the thing and replaced them with a very loosely fitted sprocket that drove a chain that went down to the pedals, not to the rear wheels, to the pedals. To mount this tiller to the frame, I cut away this section of tubing from the bicycle frame, replaced it with these 2 little bits of flat bar and these 2 bits of channel section here, and welded in these 2 tabs for the base of the tiller to mount to, and it just sat right here buzzing between my legs, and again, the chain drove the pedals down below. So what was this bicycle like to ride with the tiller powering it? Well, I had a giant ticked-off wasp sitting right here between my legs, and I had to ride the thing with my legs spread way out because the tiller